Jai Hind everyone, this is Brigadier Anil Gautam once again, and I present to you the second video in the leadership series. In case you have not seen the first video, I will request you to go through it. The link is flashing on your screen. It's a short one, it will help you launch seamlessly into the second video. You know what, leadership is one of the most loosely used terms. It is used for very many things that it is not. It is also used for want of better words or expression. So before we start to know what leadership is, will it not be in order to establish or find out what leadership is not? So let's separate the chaff from the wheat and let's find out what leadership is not. So let's get on with the myth number one. That is, leadership is a workplace thing. It is something to be practiced in your offices, schools, factories, where you are team leaders, managers, CEOs, teachers, team captains, so on and so forth. Beyond that, once you leave your workplace, at home you are just a father, a son, a husband, a wife, and in your society you are just a friend or a neighbor. Well, that's not true. If you ask my opinion, the leadership is required most at your home. I get reminded of what Mark Twain had to say. When I was 14, my father was so ignorant, I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Now do you realize how closely you are being watched by your family for guidance and directions? No, you would have seen families succeeding greatly or failing miserably because of the kind of leadership which is practiced in that family. Now, a couple of things have changed over the years in the recent past. Earlier, the changes that used to take generations to happen are happening multiple times in the same generation. So, the needs of leadership in the family has only increased. The kind of children, the kind of people your children will grow up to is actually the kind of leadership they have seen around themselves. So, your workplace is a part of your leadership environment, but just a part. The leadership environment goes much beyond your workplace. Now that brings me to the second myth, that is, the leadership inspiration has to come from iconic personalities. It requires a Gandhi, a Mother Teresa, or a Barack Obama to inspire you. Well, I don't agree with that. Your leadership inspirations are generally in your own touch and feel range. It is your mother, who may be an illiterate lady, your childhood teacher, your neighborhood uncle, or even your friend who stood by you when the whole world was going against it. Now, you don't believe me? Read these iconic leaders. You will realize that while you draw your inspirations from them, where did they get their inspiration from? Let us see what this guy has to say. In tough spots, I tend to channel my grandmother. And the grandmother's line that would flash in his mind when he was in a tough spot to take a tough decision was, sometimes you just do what needs to be done. Looking back in my own life, whenever I was in a tough spot, it was not a Gandhi or a Mother Teresa who came to my rescue. It was my mother, an illiterate lady. I would try and recollect what she did, how she handled this situation, or how she would have handled the situation. I acted accordingly and seldom went wrong. She is my inspiration. It is my childhood friend who forced me to take an injured man who had got injured seriously in a street fight. He forced me to take him to the hospital. Everyone around was telling that this man is antisocial. If you get associated with him, you will be taken as an accomplice. But he was convinced that he is a human being and he needs to live. We took him to the hospital. We did spend the whole night in the police station. We did sign 100 papers. But then this friend of mine had no regret. He would do the same thing once again. And now this time, even I would do the same thing after that incident. He is my inspiration. Whenever I went wrong, horribly wrong, didn't succeed after working very hard, the famous sayings like failures are pillars of success and such like things, they didn't come to my rescue. It was my father's line कि कोई बात नहीं, उठो चलो करते हैं फिर से मिलके साथ में, होगा कैसे नहीं. my father is my inspiration. In my profession, we have been taking decisions all our lives. Decisions that touch lives, decisions that can cost lives. These are tough decisions. They come with immediate unpleasantness. There is a tendency, there is an urge to bypass, take a shorter route. Thoughts that और भी तो लोग हैं, मुझे चौधरी बनने की क्या ज़रूरत है. Such things come to my mind, come to everyone's mind for that matter. In such situations, the person who inspires me is my first commanding officer, who used to say a simple thing, that whenever I am stuck with a decision like that, the only thought that flashes my mind is, will I be able to sleep peacefully in the night without my conscience troubling me? As simple as that. This approach of his has guided me all my life in taking decisions. God bless his soul. Thank you very much, sir. I hope you are listening from wherever you are right now. If you put your hand on your heart, you will agree with me that it's not only my story that I am narrating. I am narrating yours as well. Now that brings me to the next myth in the list, which is leadership is optional. Now there are these guys who want a cool day in the office, 2 chota drinks in the evening, a bike ride with friends over the weekend, and they want nothing more from life. Good guys to have around you. These are really good guys. But then the life gets slightly more complicated than this. A good day in the office requires you to take decisions in a happy, humorous environment where people are laughing, smiling. 2 chota drinks in the evening should be fun and not stress busters. And the weekend ride should not be an escape from your family. So creating a bindas environment also requires leadership. In fact, a lot of leadership. You have to be a leader somewhere. And now that we have agreed upon the fact that you can't escape leadership, you might as well get good at it. So leadership is not optional. That brings me to the next myth, that a leader is a leader. He can produce results with any team. Well, that's not true. If the team doesn't understand your vision, if it is not empowered to execute your thoughts, you will not succeed. Now, I have met people in life who are used to getting work done with danda. They ill-treat their subordinates. They behave obnoxiously. In routine, day-to-day life, they even achieve their targets. They succeed, and they feel that whatever they have achieved is the ultimate. But then, I have seen such teams falling apart in times of minor crisis also. And one failure in crisis situation washes away all that you have achieved in non-crisis situations. On the other hand, I have seen empowered teams doing wonders, achieving targets far exceeding your expectations with their ingenuity and initiative. So, without an empowered team, without a motivated team, a leader is a dud. This is what Eisenhower had to say about such people. You don't lead by hitting people over the head. That's assault, not leadership. That brings me to the next myth that I have in my list, which is leadership is practiced by bosses on subordinates. It's vertical and it is downwards. So if you are a boss, you worry about leadership. If you are a subordinate, you need not bother. Well, anyone who believes that is talking of split personalities, because there will never be a situation where you are an absolute boss. That luxury, incidentally, is not available even to the gods in my religion. There is a saying that someone's got to be the boss here, but then I say that everyone's got to be a boss somewhere. At the same time, you are a boss, a subordinate, a father, a son, a husband, a neighbor, a friend. You are all of it. And at all these places, your leadership is going along with you. So it's not vertical and it's not downwards. Now there is a talk about this subordinate leadership. Should subordinates also have leadership qualities? Well, I have been on both sides of the fence, and I have been looking for subordinates with leadership qualities more than what I have been looking for my bosses with leadership qualities. Bosses do look for leadership qualities in subordinates. System does look for leadership qualities in subordinates. Well, they may not reward you. They may even take credit for the jobs that you have done well. They may even feel threatened by you. But in times of crisis, the bosses are looking for leadership qualities in subordinates. So, the bottom line is that leadership is not a one-way traffic. It functions both ways. And then there are these people who believe that leadership is an adult thing. Children will learn it when they grow up, why bother now? Well, again, that's not the truth. And what I'm saying is no rocket science. Whatever children learn in the early stages stays with them throughout their life. The trajectory gets decided pretty early in life. Rest of the life they are just following that trajectory. Overprotective parents who don't let their children decide things for themselves, the children become indecisive for life. They look for decision to others, and I can say with absolute conviction that if you allow others to take decisions for yourself, you are offering yourself for exploitation. I can see the difference in my own life. I can give my own example. I joined the National Defence Academy when I was 17, and suddenly I had nobody to look up to for decisions. I had to take my decisions. Not deciding was not an option. So I decided things for myself always. It's not that I went right all the time. Most of the times I went wrong. But then I decided things. Indecision was not an option. Now that has helped me a lot in my life ahead, in crisis situations, in adverse situations. When a decision has to be taken, there was no decision paralysis for me. I took my decisions. In fact, if you ask me, the biggest contribution of the National Defence Academy to my life is it has taught me to be level-headed in face of crisis, and it has taught me to take balanced decisions in adverse situations. The real issue around is not that people do not know what to do. They know it, they just don't act. Parents get overprotective and harm their children. I get reminded of a very famous saying that in a dog sled, if you are not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. While the lead dog sees the entire world and takes the sled where he goes, it is not difficult to imagine what the dogs in the following rows are seeing all the time. The beauty is that the race finishes at the same time for each and every dog. So, ladies and gentlemen, now you know what we are talking about. Now you have to take that step. What do you want your child to become? Time to walk your convictions now. And then there is this debate whether leaders are born or are made. Now this debate has been happening since as long as the word leadership has existed. There is a group of people which is sizable, which believes that the leaders are born. It's a binary. Either you are a born leader or you are not a leader. And then there are others who believe that leaders can be made here. I belong to the second group. And now let me explain to you why I say what I say. My look at the leadership, my take on the leadership is pretty simplistic. I look at it as a sum total of qualities you possess. There are certain qualities. If you have them, you are a leader. If you do not have them, you are not a leader. After some time, we will be talking about the qualities. If those qualities are acquirable, then the leadership is also acquirable. And if those qualities are not acquirable, well, then I am willing to accept that the leaders are born. We are talking of qualities like physical fitness, being a well-read man or a woman, prioritizing and managing time. I can't even imagine how can you be born with such qualities. My take on it is leadership can be acquired. Well, most of it at least. And then there is this dangerous myth that leaders are fearless. That doesn't happen. You do get scared. That's very human. In fact, leadership is not about being fearless. Leadership is about managing fear and being level-headed in such situations. If I may say, a bit of fear it keeps you grounded and keeps you level-headed. It is the lack of fear which is counterproductive. Now, there have been situations in my life when we are in contact with militants, and there is this one soldier who wants to get up and charge on the militant. It took us great effort to keep him pinned to the ground and let the moment pass. ऐसा लगता था जैसे उस पर माता आ गई हो. He was so powerful at that time. Now, I'm not too sure whether he was fearless or he was excessively scared. I tend to believe the later. Being fearless is not possible. The leaders have to manage fear. These are the things leadership is not about. These are the myths about leadership. So, I end this video here. In the next video, I'll try and talk about what leadership actually is and how do we go about it. So, until then, this is Brigadier Anil Gautam wishing you Godspeed and above all, Jai Hind.